Hello, my name is Zachary Salak, and I'm going to be presenting on Ford Motor Company and Amazon.com Inc. for my Week 8 final presentation. To give a little background, I think most people know that Ford Motor Company, seller of vehicles, American-made, anything from cars, SUVs, trucks, vans, etc. And then Amazon, obviously one of the largest e-commerce retailers in the world, offers various products, millions and millions and millions. So that being said, let's get started. So first are the value disciplines. Ford Motor Company and Amazon adhere to different value disciplines that were presented in week 1 of the course. While everyone might interpret them differently, I think that Ford focuses on customer intimacy while Amazon focuses on operational excellence. After reading the customer intimacy and other value disciplines article by Michael and Fred, it's easy to see that these companies exhibit, both of these value disciplines. Customer intimacy focuses on tailoring their product to meet the needs of the end consumer, while companies with strong customer intimacy look to build customer loyalty through developing relationships with the customer base, typically done through, customization and meeting the customer needs. This can be seen, through all of Ford's customization options with their various fleet options, whether it be interior customizations or exterior options. On the other hand, operational excellence focuses on lean operations and minimizing overhead costs so that they can provide some of the lowest prices on their products. This can be seen with Amazon as they, typically companies with operational excellence have a very good supply chain and good supply chain relationships to keep costs low. This is very easy to see with Amazon. Customer convenience is also a particularly strong trait in companies that focus on operational excellence. It doesn't get much easier than logging onto an app, shipping it to your house and it arriving within a few days. Usually around 2 days for Amazon. So it doesn't get much easier than that. That being said, it shouldn't go without saying that Amazon is also big on customer intimacy as they built strong relationships with their end consumer. In 2018 and 19, for the Retail and Consumer Shipping Report, Amazon ranks second in the American Customer Satisfaction Index. So next I want to talk about the market segmentation variables. Week 2 of the course presented various segmentation variables that were grouped into 4 segmentation bases. These bases were geographic, demographic, psychographic, and behavioral. Because there's so many, I wanted to focus on a few that I think are key to both Ford and Amazon. The first segmentation variable is age. For Ford, they're kind of looking for that driving age, so typically anybody 16 or older. However, it should be noted that a lot of the times when a customer tries to purchase a vehicle that's under 18, they typically need a cosigner. That being said, as the customers get older for Ford, they eventually start to phase themselves out as they're not physically capable to, purchase and drive vehicles. According to Amazon's terms of use, anyone under age of 18 has to use their app with the approval of a parent or guardian. From there, as long as you're mentally and physically able, you can pretty much use the app and purchase items. Amazon really isn't targeting a set group because of the wide range of products that they offer. However, they are targeting younger groups for their Amazon Prime membership. In 2015, per a Fortune.com article, the average age of an Amazon Prime customer is a little over 36 years old versus 42 years at Walmart. To me, this really isn't unusual growing up with Amazon in the digital age. Pretty much a lot of the customers are likely to sit right around that age with Amazon. Another important variable for both companies is income. Ford has many vehicles in their fleet, the cheapest starting out at around $15,000, with some vehicles exceeding hundreds of thousands of dollars. So as a result, Ford needs to target consumers based on vehicles that they can afford to purchase. Conversely, Amazon, being an e-commerce retailer offering hundreds of millions of products, they can range from very cheap to very expensive. So there's a very wide variety of products and income levels that they can target. So really, income really isn't too much of a concern for Amazon. The last segmentation variable I want to touch on is psychographic need variable. With Ford, I feel that many of the consumers are looking for a quality vehicle that provide good value for the price. So while Ford does have that, luxury brand with Lincoln, I would argue that they're more known for their economically priced vehicles. And as a result, price and value would be high on the consumer's list. For Amazon, it's basically convenience and price appear to be the biggest factor. Again, pretty easy, order from the app, gets delivered in 2 days. Prices are typically competitive with other retailers and even price match certain items. So it's kind of clear that Ford and both Amazon share some segmentation variables with each other. So next, I want to talk about building customer loyalty. In an increasingly digital age, companies are targeting their efforts in building brand loyalty. For Ford, they launched their Ford Pass Rewards program. It's accessible through an app, and when you purchase a vehicle, either leased or new, you can earn 42,000 points, which equates to 3 oil changes and 3 filter changes. They've also started a mobile service van to bring value to their customers in California, part of their new pilot program. They have vans that go around and kind of, work on vehicles where they are able to perform oil changes, brake pad installation, and fix recalls. They've also started updating their showroom concepts and leasing options and call centers to increase overall customer experience. For Amazon, the main way they build customer loyalty is through their Prime membership. I think a lot of people are familiar with this, so I'm only going to touch on some important ones. First is the free shipping on Prime eligible items. They can be delivered in as quick as 2 hours or up to 2 days. Next thing I wanted to touch on was their streaming services like Prime Video and Prime Music to compete with Netflix. And finally, their shopping benefits related to the Whole Food markets where they offer exclusive savings and delivery in select cities. The next topic I wanted to talk about was artificial intelligence and big data. With Ford Motor Company, they started a joint venture with their Ford dealerships called Ford Direct. So they worked with a company called Vast that created a car story market report, and it gives consumers certain details of used car, like its condition, how price compares to market averages, owner history, and other information that helps you sell these cars. Vast also rolled out a inventory management app that uses predictive analytics to help dealers figure out how long a used car will sit on their lot and when they can expect to sell these vehicles. Moving on to Amazon is their recommendations tool. So when you're browsing the app and they, give you a list of items that they recommend, they build an algorithm and take your consumer data and track your purchases based on location and kind of develop a profile for you and then offer recommendations based off of that. From what I've read, it's surprisingly accurate of a profile that they can build, but just based off your geographical location. So I found that pretty interesting. Next, I want to talk about digital transformation. When it comes to digital transformation, Ford is currently in the process of investing billions to transform digitally over the next decade. 2 specific areas Ford's looking to build on are its electric vehicles and autonomous vehicles. This is built to help help increase their profits as their current profit margins flatten. And then Amazon, they've constantly been transforming. They started off as a bookstore, then moved into a third-party seller to offer products through a marketplace, and then offering Prime shipping memberships in 2005, and then instant video streaming in 2011, with potential drone delivery in the future. Finally, I want to talk about organizing for digital maturity. I found that Ford is, pretty much a traditional organization, likely to be set in their roots and very silo-oriented. In 2014, Alan Mulally introduced One Ford to connect the organization as a whole and make them one organization, as silos were a big complaint with Ford prior to that One Ford implementation. As for Amazon, it's a more modern company, and it's been adapting to change since their inception. They're known to be technologically driven, and they developed two pizza teams to increase teamwork and production. So it looks like they have the upper hand when it comes to digitally maturing and or working with teams. So, and then lastly, the analytics and personnel decisions. Ford Motor Company, they said in their sustainability report that they discussed their talent attraction and retention policies. Ford attracts employees by working with professional organizations, building relationships with colleges, and using social media to connect with the next generation of innovators. In addition to prior reports, they mentioned using digital tools to as a recruiting process tool. So it shows their commitment to analytics and trying to make personnel decisions based on these analytics. As for Amazon, they recently had to shut down their artificial intelligence tool as the algorithm learned a gender bias. Basically, the tool would go through various resumes over a 10-year period, and it learned that it was a predominantly male organization with resumes, so it developed that as a success factor and would downgrade star ratings based on gender. So they had to stop that program. And while it did fail, it did show that they are committed to using these type of analytics for personnel decisions. So based on what I've previously presented, it's easy to see that the two companies are in various stages of life, so to speak. Ford is looking at ways to innovate and keep pace digitally, as been shown with their investments. Conversely, Amazon continues to look ways to innovate and increase their brand. They demonstrate this by expanding into various industries like they have recently with the grocery industry and the healthcare industry. And when it comes to being digitally advanced, I think we most agree that Amazon has the upper hand. Thank you, and I look forward to applying these concepts in my career.